Okay. Okay. Dear distinguished guests, rectors, deans, and professors from North Macedonia and Greece, dear students, dear guests, welcome and thank you all for the warm and positive answers on such a short notice to our invitation. Allow me to express on behalf of the Pelagonia Association, and from me personally, the deepest gratitude to all for the participation at our annual presentation of Greek universities to the public of North Macedonia. Last year, we presented 5 Greek universities as a whole, with all the study programs for undergraduate up to doctoral studies, and that presentation became a video guidebook for everyone interested in studying and/or initiating a cooperation on personal or professional level with higher education institutions from Greece. This year's presentation is a thematic one. The professors from various departments of Greek universities will introduce to us the fields of studies of Polytechnic sciences, informatics, arts, and foreign languages translation and interpretation. Without further ado, I hereby invite the Secretary General for Public Diplomacy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Professor John Chrysoulakis, to address.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dear organizers, dear Christian Belianov, dear Consul General of the Hellenic Republic in Bitola, dear representatives of the Greek Embassy in Skopje, dear friend Kostas Prokakis, head of the Diplomatic Office, Public Diplomacy Office at the Greek Embassy in Skopje, dear representatives of the Greek Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs, dear representatives of the Greek universities, dear friends, and of course, dear students. I'm very happy to be with you today, and I'd like to congratulate Pelagonia Association, Certified Center for Learning and Attainment in Greek Language for the Republic of North Macedonia, for hosting this presentation. As it was mentioned, after last year's successful event, Pelagonia Association focused this year on the specific needs of North Macedonia students who are interested to study Greece. I'm very happy to see that many representatives of our prestigious Greek universities are here with us to offer all necessary information. There are already students from North Macedonia that thrive in Greek universities supported by scholarships that the Greek Ministry of Foreign Affairs offers. We strongly hope that the current difficulties imposed by COVID and the war will soon be overcome so that new scholarships can be announced. The General Secretariat for Greeks Abroad and Public Diplomacy considers education an indispensable social good and is actively engaged in the promotion and extroversion of Greek universities. There are several reasons why an international student should choose Greece as a place to study and live in. Greek universities are continuously ranked among the best in Europe. They invest in innovation and offer many programs related to cutting-edge technology. Greece offers a high standard quality of life and studies in a very affordable cost, as well as endless opportunities for leisure. The highly esteemed university representatives will offer you today valuable information on Greek university enrollment. I'd like to also point that 19 public universities around Greece offer about 140 international master's programs, mainly in English, which is a number that continuously increases. These programs provide international students with the opportunity to choose between a broad range of disciplines, from theoretical to scientific fields such as medicine, biology, physics, and ecology, as well as technology disciplines like IT, computer science, engineering, and telecommunications, among others. In addition, following the creation of a modern and innovative framework at the end of 2019, undergraduate programs for international students are already available, while more are under design and will be available soon. One bright example is the medical degree by the School of Medicine of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. Founded in 1942, the School of Medicine of the Aristotle University, one of the most prominent medical institutions in the country, counting 30,000 graduates, is offering a 6 years medical degree in English. This program is ideal for international students, as the vast numbers of Greek doctors that work and thrive both in Greece and abroad has proven. A medical degree from a Greek university is an invaluable tool for an international career. That is to say that last year they received 1,200 applications from 42 countries for 60 positions. It's worth mentioning that the medical degree offered by the School of Medicine of the National and Kapodistrian University of Athens, which is located in Athens, is set to be launched in September 2022, this year. It is also a 6-year international-oriented program addressed to international students which invest in cutting-edge research. These are just a few examples, and given the Greek stage and the Greek academic world's forward-looking vision, there are more international programs to come in the future. Let me thank you for your invitation and congratulate again and again Pelagonia Association for this successful initiative. I want to stress your contribution in enhancing cultural ties and building mutual understanding between Greece and North Macedonia. The General Secretariat for Greeks Abroad and Public Diplomacy supports activities that promote cooperation and will continue to do so in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chrysoulakis, for your kind words. We are grateful that you found time once again to support our initiative. Now, before I announce our next official, allow me to express on behalf of Pelagonia Association our deepest gratitude to the Consulate General of Greece in Bitola for the mediation between the organizer and the Ministries of External Affairs and Education of Greece, and bringing their representatives to get acquainted first-handedly with this initiative and its impact. Personally, I sincerely thank the Consul General, Mr. Vidouris, for his guidance in the process of organizing this important event. Your Excellency, Consul General of Greece in Bitola, Mr. Alexandros Vidouris, I invite you to the floor to address.
Thank you, Christian, and thank you very much for your kind words. Mr. Secretary General, Professor Chrysoulakis, dear Director General from the Ministry of Education, dear rectors, dear deans and professors from universities in Greece, thank you all for being here today. It is the second year running that Pelagonia Association is hosting this important event whereby students from North Macedonia will be presented with the opportunities available to them to continue their studies in Greek universities. The decision to study in university is one of life's big decisions. There is a lot of stress involved for the young students. There's a lot of stress involved for their parents. And in the Balkans, we have a tradition that the parents are very close with the children, and especially the Balkan mothers are very concerned about where their children will be going to study. There are a number of obvious choices why a student from North Macedonia would want to choose to study in a university in Greece. First and foremost, of course, is the proximity between our two countries. Secondly, that there is this close cultural link. There are many common characteristics that we share. So I'm quite confident that students choosing to go to Greece to study will feel very much at home in Greece as they do in their own country. Beyond that, our distinguished guests today will outline the opportunities provided. From my part, as the Secretary General already mentioned, Greece has a tradition in higher education. Its universities are now ranked top in the world, top in Europe. We can see that Greek universities have a tradition in creating critical thinkers, analytical thinkers, creative thinkers, and the students who graduate from Greek universities go on to become very successful professionals, both in Greece and abroad. And recently, we've seen an increasing amount of international awards being given to Greek students who continue their professions or studies abroad. On a more personal note, I would like to say that for the students from North Macedonia, choosing to study in Greece entails an even more noble mission. When you will be, during your time in Greece, your studies, you will in fact also be ambassadors of North Macedonia in Greece. And then hopefully once you finish your studies and you come back to North Macedonia, you will be the ambassadors of Greece to North Macedonia. And these ties, these links, these bridges that you will be creating will be the bridges that will forge a more common understanding, a common respect, mutual trust between our two peoples. You will be entailing the most noble values of the European ideal. And in that sense, Pelagonia's initiative to introduce the Greek universities to the public of North Macedonia is significant on many levels. From my part, as Consul General of Greece in Bitola, I am at your full disposal for the students to come and visit the consulate, to have a chat, to have a coffee. I can guide you through the processes. I can guide you through the visa applications. I can even assist in other more mundane tasks of assisting in finding accommodation and so on and so forth. So the doors of the Greek consulate are always open. My door is open. I invite you all. It's an open invitation to come here and discuss further your plans. And just in closing, I would like to say that the school I used to go to in Greece had a motto, and its motto was that tomorrow begins today. Today is what we are discussing that will be the bearing upon tomorrow. You, the younger generation, are our tomorrow. So I encourage you to follow closely the meaningful presentations that will be presented. And again, thank you to Pelagonia Association and to Christian Velianov for putting this event together and hosting it for the second year running. The floor back to you, Christian.
Thank you, Mr. Vidouris. Thank you for your kind words. I now invite the head of the Office for Public Diplomacy of the Embassy of Greece in North Macedonia, Mr. Konstantinos Prokakis.
Thank you, Christian, for your invitation. It's very important that we are here today for once more. And please allow me to go ahead to my speech. Mr. Secretary General, Mr. Consul General, Mr. Director General of the Ministry of Education, Mr. Rector, Mr. Vice President of Pelagonia, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I participate once more in the event organized every year by the Pelagonia Association for the presentation of study programs of Greek universities to prospective students from North Macedonia. Instead of a long speech, please allow me a few short remarks. North Macedonia is currently at the center of significant developments in the Western Balkans and Eastern Europe, which inevitably lead to its transformation into a country organized according to the standards of the European acquis. This means, among other things, reshaping state institutions, economic development, tackling environmental issues, promoting reforms in key areas, adapting legislation to European standards, further internationalizing trade and business, moving to green energy, developing infrastructure, opening of society to the societies of other countries, especially to neighboring ones, with greater cultural interaction. In short, all this implies the improvement of the living standards and the daily life of the citizen. All the above require effort, knowledge, and skills on the part of the human resources of the country, and especially on the part of the new generation, which is the most dynamic and promising part of society. Greece, as a friendly neighboring country, supports the above-mentioned perspective of North Macedonia in every possible way, on the condition that the existing institutional prerequisites are met, because it believes in the peaceful and creative coexistence of our peoples within the European family. In this context, the role of higher education becomes particularly important. Greece has very well organized universities of international recognition and prestige, which can offer the knowledge and skills required for the youth of North Macedonia to promote the European transformation of its country. The advantages of Greek universities are their geographical proximity, their strong tradition, their adaptation to modern scientific standards, and the development of modern international study programs taught in English, just to name a few. Greek universities offer international undergraduate and postgraduate programs in European law, business administration, medicine, environmental technologies, construction, innovation, agricultural economics, information technology, arts and culture, which can provide the young generation of North Macedonia with all necessary qualifications for the future. Many young people in North Macedonia are already taking advantage of these opportunities offered by the Greek universities. Greek state is willing to create further infrastructure and appropriate conditions and further develop the existing higher education institution framework in order to accommodate more foreign students and cover the increased demand from the Western Balkan countries for top quality educational services. Having all this in mind, I would like to congratulate the Pelagonia Association for its work, which brings together the people of our countries and takes care of overcoming negative stereotypes, and I wish success in today's event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prokakis, and thank you for your kind words. We are thankful to the Ministry of Education of the Hellenic Republic, under which our Center for Attainment in the Greek Language operates, to support our event this year, and I'm honored to invite the General Director of Higher Education of the Ministry of Education of Greece, Mr. Panagiotis Giannopoulos, to the floor. Mr. Giannopoulos.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from Athens. Kalimera. I am the General Director of Higher Education at the Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs in Greece, and my name is Panagiotis Giannopoulos. I am honored to be participating in this meeting and have the opportunity to inform you about the developments in the sector of higher education in Greece. First off, I would like to say that several Greek universities have already been participating in the network of European universities. This network creates the conditions for a new landscape in the field of higher education. Our ministry supports, by all appropriate means, the enhancement of the cooperation between the Greek universities and the universities abroad, and actively participates in the development of bilateral transnational collaborations in the field of higher education. It is of great importance to us to achieve the conditions for Greek universities to be outward-looking, creative, and innovative. In this context, study programs have been already offered in English, as heard before, in the fields of humanities and medicine. From the next academic year, these programs are expected to extend to other scientific fields. In addition to this, the Ministry of Education has decided to support the establishment of branches of Greek universities in other countries. The growth of the higher education sector, the deepening and strengthening of the quality of the studies provided at undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral level, as well as in postdoctoral research, are necessary for the socio-economic development of our country. Those of you who are interested in studying at one of our universities can find all the information regarding the studies on the website of the Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs, the websites of the universities, and of course the portal Study in Greece. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Giannopoulos. Dear Rector of the University of Ioannina and Head of the Council of Rectors of Greek Universities, Professor Triantafyllos Albanis, we are thrilled to have you with us once again. Professor Albanis, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Your Honor, General Secretary of Public Diplomacy of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor Chrysoulakis, Your Honor, General Consul of Greece in Bitola, Mr. Vidouris, dear Head Officer of Public Diplomacy of Greek Embassy in North Macedonia, Mr. Prokakis, Mr. Giannopoulos, dear colleagues and students, dear Christian Velyanov, thank you for the invitation and the chance to be in this meeting organized by Pelagonia Association. I'm very happy to be with you. I would select to talk about how to craft a successful international higher education collaboration. I'm coming from a university belongs in the old Greek university and a big regional university, the University of Ioannina. Only two words, the University of Ioannina is the fourth biggest university in Greece with 11 schools and 23 departments, and the main schools organized according to the science of philosophy, natural science, health science, education, fine arts, music studies, economics and administrative studies, engineering, social science, informatics and telecommunication, and agriculture. I would like to talk about the behavior and situation of internationalization in higher education institutes, and this involves for the university the mobility, the cooperation and policy dialogue activities. The objective is to contribute to establish an international education area with a global outreach and strengthen to link between education and research. Recently, the European Commission has raised the importance of collaboration with partner countries, as is the North Macedonia. The engagement of the young people in third countries non-associated to the Erasmus program is a key element in the process of building societies that are more resilient and are based in mutual and intercultural understanding. The objective for the students' perspective, internationalization aims to foster employability, social inclusion, civic engagement, innovation, and environmental sustainability in Europe and beyond by enabling students from all study fields and to all study sites to have the opportunity to study or train abroad as part of their studies. The objectives are to expose students to different views, knowledge, teaching, research methods, as well as work practices in their studies in the field of the European international context. Also, develop their transversal skills such as communication skills, language, critical thinking, problem solving, intercultural skills, and research skills. Also, develop their forward-looking skills such as digital and green skills, and facilitate personal development such as the ability to adapt to new situations and self-confidence. The objectives for the researchers, young researchers and teachers' perspective. The main objective is to enable researchers and staff to teach and to train abroad as a part of their professional development in order to share their expertise, experience of new teaching environments, acquiring new innovative pedagogical and curriculum design skills, connect with their peers abroad to develop common activities, exchange good practices, and better prepare students for the world of work. Internationalization has been integrated in Greek university for some decades, although not clearly stated. Nowadays, internationalization has been a flagship of higher education according to the priorities set out not only for the European Commission, but also by the Greek Minister of Education. With regards to internationalization, a leading rationale at the institutional level and in the preparation not only of graduates, but also for researchers and the staff, and to be internationally knowledge-able and interculturally skilled to work in a super complex world. Exploratory contacts with North Macedonian are guided by the following priorities aiming to promote research in a range of academic settings. A dual axis has been identified so far by the Greek University in discussion held with our counterparts, determining common research strengths, identifying and focusing on areas of mutual academic interest. Furthermore, our priorities set according to our academic profile as follows: encouraging joint academic publications, supervising joint PhDs, design interdisciplinary summer schools, and exchanging students and staff. Our contacts with our North Macedonia counterparts have indicated that an underlying purpose of any possible collaboration could be mutual benefit if it innovates in add values, partnership which encourage participation for students and staff who might not or normally engage in such opportunities. For our perspective, a partnership program should be built on existing strong academic relations before undertaking any collaborative work, identified interests and goals, common purpose, and sense mutuality of the actual success within a partnership, and develop regular and clear communication. The challenges we have been confronted with are visa processes, funding opportunities, administration demands, and communication of relevant informs. The mobility between Greek and North Macedonia universities should be encouraged to boost scientific and educational excellency, broaden research activities, and generate new collaboration prospects. The role of the ministers of education will be pivotal in ensuring sustainability and maximizing the benefits of partnership with North Macedonia and Greece collaborative program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Albanis. This year, our event is being attended by some professors from universities from North Macedonia. At this point, allow me to give the microphone to a friend of Pelagonia Association, the Dean of the Academy of Music of the University of Goce from Stip, Professor Antonio Kitanovsky, who would like to salute this initiative. Professor Kitanovsky.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Welcome.
So
Thank you for being with us.
Dobar den and Kalimera from Skopje. I'd like to thank the organizer, I guess that's you, and everybody else who helped organize and they put the hard work, and all the distinguished gentlemen that spoke before me for their time and very insightful comments. I really don't have anything to add. I mean, everything has been said, but maybe just a few things, and which will probably gonna be on a personal level, since I'm not an expert on a thing. But yeah, the last one was about, let's first say most important thing, whatever we talk, it's about, it should be geared towards students. And to put it bluntly, from my experience, you know, it was already mentioned that the funding of studies is probably going to be a major problem in most situations. While we're talking about, you know, North Macedonian students doing their studies in Greece or anywhere abroad. And that should not be a problem. I mean, higher education should be affordable and available to everybody anywhere. As we all agree, but we also can easily agree, people especially who come from higher education institutions, that it cannot be cheap. It's always expensive. If you offer better quality, it comes with a price. So realistically, I think that that's one problem. It was wonderful to hear that the internationalization was also mentioned, and especially between our two countries. We are first neighbors. I mean, it's such a great idea. I'm sure that people are thinking about this 30 years ago, but it was never done anything. So even now we can talk, but talk is first step, but we should definitely do something about it. I mean, I'll tell you from experience, our university and our music academy has international collaboration in many countries and from many continents, but not really much with Greece. I think there's only one instance that we collaborate with Greek University, our music academy. So what would I say to prospective students there? I guess a few of them are listening to this conversation, or will be, since this is recorded. Well, studying in Greece, well, why not in Greece? I mean, the world is a huge place. Sometimes it feels like it's small. But yes, it was also mentioned that it's not easy to decide where to study and what to study. I don't know, in my personal opinion, I always regarded higher education, no matter where you study, where you student, all the students of all universities are just like, same like my students in my university. It's just one big community. And I know that Greece has prestigious universities and fine programs, but there's a lot of programs also, it's good to think about it, that since there's no substitute for excellent education, I mean, specifically in my field in music, best education, if you want to study, let's say, Byzantine music, it's still going to be Greece. So there's a lot of programs that are connected specifically with a country that you cannot find them anywhere else or on that level. That's one thing. The other thing is the cultural thing. I mean, I always advise my students, as much all the higher education institutions are eager to attract students, and this event is also part of that. It's always struggle to find more students, unless it's medicine. Everybody wants to study medicine lately in Europe. I don't know why. I know why, but it's amazing how those numbers are huge. But that's just one thing. The other thing is really not just number of students, but the quality of education, and what do they get when they study abroad. Well, education, of course, you start in school, you're going to finish it once you start it. And Erasmus is a wonderful thing, so you can see other places, not just place you initially chose, and that we all have that, and it's wonderful. But it's also the cultural thing. Yeah, there's no way to experience, read about Greek mythology, but it's other if you go to and see Delphi and see Athens and see those places. And the other thing I always advise, even my students, I always tell them to go and study abroad, to see the world. Actually, many times when I ask them specifically where have they been abroad outside the Balkans, very few of them has actually traveled. So I advise them to go see the world and see if the world exists. Maybe it doesn't exist. They haven't seen it. They're just reading about it, and people tell them that there's a world out there. But if you don't see it, you won't know. Internationalization, it's very important to have. It's one thing to have individual students go study to Greece or vice versa, come to North Macedonia. But if something organized, let's say if a bunch of students from University of Greece come visit our university and vice versa, that I think it's having much greater impact. I know that for a fact, because we have collaborations like that with other countries. We also have music festivals, and there's no substitute to bringing people from abroad or traveling abroad. So we also not just think about internationalization, but do it on a larger scale if possible. That's it. That's all I can say right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Kitanovsky. It was a pleasure. Now, at this point, the core part of our presentation starts. The first 6 departments presented today are part of our partner university, the University of Western Macedonia. I must stress that Pelagonia Association has signed a memorandum of cooperation with the university in the field of the Greek language. And we sincerely hope that we will have the same opportunity with other universities as well in future. I invite Professor Zacharias to be the first speaker of the core part of this event and present the Department of Chemical Engineering of the University of Western Macedonia.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation. Let me share my screen. I don't know if you are able to see full screen.
No.
All permissions have been given.
Okay. So now you are watching full screen?
Well, not, but it's quite big, so it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so let me first thank you for your kind invitation to presenting our department. In the academia, we believe that its dissemination and communication activities are very important, since the academia must serve the society at the end of the day. So, some very fast words about our department. This is a kind of new department, some general information. Our department is a vital part of the School of Engineering and the University of Western Macedonia. It operates in the Kila campus north of the town of Kozani, where all the academia and student facilities are located. But in the next year, we are planning to move on the new facilities. If you watch the first slide, there is a 3D rendering of the new facilities of the department and the School of Engineering of our university. In general, the members of the academy and the staff of our department have extensive research and teaching experiment in several universities across Europe and USA. In general, the research activity in the department includes all fields of chemical engineering, as I will describe later, with particular emphasis on environmental protection and the energy. Now, about the academic staff, we have 5 full professors, 3 associate professors, 3 assistant professors, and 1 lecturer at the department, and we just finished the appointment of another 2 assistant professors in the core of chemical engineering. Some words about the undergraduate courses for those who...
Zacharias, it's not sending slides, just a remark.
Okay.
We still see the first slide.
Okay. No.
Perhaps you have you see the full screen and we see the presentation on the back.
Okay, exit full screen.
Yes.
Okay. Now it changes.
We still see the same, the
We
first
still
slide.
see.
Okay,
Now
it's
it's
been
changing.
changing.
Yes, now it's okay. Now.
Okay, so this is the first slide that I described. I'm sorry for the delay about the facilities. Okay, and the general information. And now we are here about the undergraduate courses. Okay, so for those who don't know what is chemical engineering is, with very few words, the development of process and the design and operation of plants in which materials undergo changes in their physical and chemical states. So they applied through the process industries, and it is founded on the principle of chemistry, physics, and mathematics. So this is the definition of chemical engineering. Now our department, the undergraduates, study programs organized in 10 academic semesters. It's 5-year courses, give a diploma of Master of Engineering with 300 ECTS. At the 8 and the 9 semester, we have 4 orientation, that namely chemical process engineering, energy and environment, materials and nanotechnology, biotechnology and food technology. Our graduates are recognized as chartered engineering and can be members of the Technical Chamber of Greece. That is something very important to have the application of engineering degree in Greece. Some things about the undergraduate studies more. The undergraduate curriculum structure to give a strong emphasis on the background in science like chemistry, mathematics, and physics, including also a large number of core courses in chemical engineering. We also want to provide the disciplinary knowledge necessary to tomorrow's engineering, like project management, economics, information technology, etc. As Professor Albanis told before, the international is very important. So we are very active on the Erasmus program, the international approach. We have several cooperation with several universities around the Europe. Most of our students goes to Mediterranean countries like Spain, Portugal, and Italy. Several students participate in student groups like the SPIRE team, that is an aerospace team with cooperation with other departments of the Polytechnic school. Also, we encourage the leadership in an agreement with many institutions and companies. About 25% of our students make internship, and this is funded by the European Union. Now, some interesting statistics. For 100 positions for undergraduate and students, we have 681 candidates last year, and the department was in the top 5 choices for 85% of our undergraduate students. So our student really wants to study here chemical engineering. It's not a random choice, that's me this number. We have educational and equipment. Here you can see some one chemical reactor with also state-of-the-art software to provide our students with all the necessary expertise to design the process. And also the university has enough interdepartmental equipment with state-of-the-art facilities. We have founded 5 research laboratories at the department: the Laboratory of Alternative Fuels and Environmental Catalysis, of Environmental Technology, of Wastewater Treatment and Environmental Chemistry, of Chemistry and Food Technology. There is also one research laboratory joined with Department of Mechanical Engineering, the namely Air and Waste Management Laboratory. We have, this is an important thing, we have several pilot plants that we have designed and constructed with funding by several research programs. Here is an example. You can see a desalination unit and an aerobic digestion unit, and we try to integrate the pilot plants to the teaching activities for our students, since the education of engineering is an applied science, and it's very important to see how the matter really are in the industry. Now, the outreach activities, dissemination and communication, we are trying to be very active. Here is an example of a conference that we organized last year with a very good success. You can see that it's a large number of participants from Greek and abroad and companies. So we are very committed in this topic. About the postgraduate studies now, right here we have 2 different master programs. The one, namely Energy, Investment and Environment, together with the Department of Economics and the Department of Regional and Cross-Border Development. And we have also another university program, namely Food Quality Control. This is together with the University of Food Technology, with the University at Plovdiv from Bulgaria. This is in English, the second program. And for the next academic year, we are planning to start a postgraduate program in the core of chemical engineering, namely advanced process engineering. This is almost my last slide. It's about the research activities and opportunities in our department. In general, we are very active. Several faculty members have research program competitive and funding by European community and from national level. You can see, for example, the program or the IDEREC program. 2 faculty members of our department are included in the top 2% of the researchers worldwide in the last 2 years. This is maybe important. We have collaboration with more than 20 countries, even with Balkans and Turkey or Cyprus, from USA, of course, with European countries like Italy, Germany, Denmark, etc. Also with Africa and Asia, with China. So we are very active with enough collaboration. We have more than 20 PhD candidates in several fields, just to mention a few: in chemical reaction engineering, in environmental catalysis, in nanomaterials, in fuel technology, in environmental engineering, in renewable energy, in food science and technology, in environmental modeling, and we have particular focus on the valorization and circular economy nowadays. So pretty much this is the end of my presentation. You can, of course, you can find all the relevant information at our website, and you can communicate it in our email, and we are happy to address any comment. So thank you again for your invitation.
Thank you, Professor Zacharias. It's very interesting. It's remarkable the number of cooperations you have, and your infrastructure is remarkable indeed. I now invite from the Department of Mineral Resources Engineering, Professor Kapageridis, who is also the president of the Department of Mineral Resources Engineering. Professor Kapageridis.
Thank you. Good morning from Kozani. First of all, I would like to thank Pelagonia Association and the other organizers of this great event. I would also like to thank in advance our colleagues from North Macedonia and the students who were kind enough to spend this time to watch all these presentations to follow. And I'll start by sharing my screen. Okay. Hopefully you can see full screen now. Our department is a Department of Mineral Resources Engineering. It's part of the School of Engineering. It operates in the Kila campus in Kozani. And it's going very fast. So it automatically goes from one slide to the next. So you give me just a second.
Take your time.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully now it's not gonna change on its own. Right. And so our research activity and the study programs are driven by the current scientific developments in the mineral resources industry, including energy sources, exploration and mining of mineral deposits, geotechnology and environmental engineering. We are a fairly new department. We only have 3 years of operation, so we're not very big when it comes to our academic staff. However, the staff we have has a range of different subjects, and as you can see here, from geotechnical engineering, mineral exploration, mining informatics, and mineral resources engineering. Our undergraduate course is a 5-year course that leads to the degree of mineral resources engineering. In the 8th and 9th term, we introduce 3 different orientations which cover most of the subjects involved in mineral resource engineering, like mining and geotechnical engineering, energy resources engineering, and geoenvironmental engineering. And just to clarify what these are, the main topics involved in our studies are mining engineering, geotechnical engineering, hydrocarbons engineering, environmental engineering, and some minor topics as well, like geoscience and geoinformatics, mineral processing, renewable energy sources, and project management. These are the main areas of study. We offer 88 different courses, ranging from basic sciences like mathematics, geology, and physics, and going into more specialized topics like underground and surface mining, geostatistics, geophysics, and a lot of other things. We have a lot of laboratories. We have 10 different laboratories which cover both the academic and the research needs of our department. I'll just mention our Advanced Materials and Electrochemical Technology Lab, the Analytical Geochemistry Lab, Applied Geophysics, Atmospheric Pollution and Environmental Physics, Environmental Mining and Technology, and a range of other laboratories with very rich, with a lot of equipment and a lot of and good facilities. We offer PhD positions. As I mentioned before, we are a very young department, but we already have 6 PhD candidates. And we recently internationalized our PhD program. So now we can offer PhD positions in English as well as in Greek. And some of the areas we are interested in providing research for is mine emissions monitoring, mine closure and land reclamation, which is a very popular topic nowadays with the green transition, AI applications in mining, fuel cells and ceramic cells, mineralogy and geochemistry, and a number of other more traditional areas. We have gained, due to the pandemic, of course, in the last couple of years, we have gained a lot of experience in distance learning, and we have offered a lot of seminars and other opportunities to gain experience and knowledge through the internet. And we have also participated in a large conference that happened in Athens last year, and we were co-organizers, and that conference was provided both virtually and with physical presence. So we have a lot of experience in doing that. We also offer a postgraduate course in petroleum, oil, gas, and hydrogen management and transportation. This is in collaboration with a number of departments from the University of Western Macedonia, and also in collaboration with the Azerbaijan State University of Economics. This particular postgraduate course is being sponsored by the TAP pipeline. The course now in the latest cycle lasts for 3 semesters and leads to the degree of Master of Science in Petroleum, Oil, Gas, and Hydrogen Management and Transportation. And if you need more information for our department, we have a complete web page, both in Greek and English. We're very active in social media like Facebook and LinkedIn, and we also have our own YouTube channel where we post a lot of videos from our activities, like our webinars and any excursions we provide to our students. So thank you very much for your time. Congratulate you once again for organizing this event.
Thank you, Professor Kapageridis. Mineral resources become all more important nowadays, so it's really important what you do. From the Department of Mechanical Engineering, we have with us Professor Panaras Giorgos. Professor Panaras.
Hello from me.
Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation, and hello to everybody, to the deans, to the ambassador, and the other executives. I will present the Department of Mechanical Engineering. I will try to. Okay, I think now you see my full screen. Is it okay?
Yes, it's very good.
Yes, okay, thank you. So, as my colleagues said before me, the Department of Mechanical Engineering also belongs to the Faculty of Engineering of the University of Western Macedonia. Some words. Okay, Western Macedonia is a very nice place. I've come here and I've got to know this place because I have not been born here. So I realized that it's a very nice place. And in addition, Western Macedonia, in addition to the very nice, as a very nice place, let's say it's famous in Greece. It used to be the energy heart of Greece, to the extent that the basic production of electricity was performed in Western Macedonia up to very recent years, and this was due to the coal plants. This is the lignite basin in Western Macedonia. Now, I am doing this reference because the presence of the lignite power station is strongly related to the presence of an engineering school in Western Macedonia, and of course to our department, as our department has been based in order to serve the operation of these plants, in order to find incentives for research, to promote the more efficient operation of these plants. So we have had a lot of things to do throughout the years. And now, as you all know that we are on the decarbonization period, our next, let's say, goal, our next task would be to help to promote clean energy in the area, in Greece, and of course, for all the world. So this small introduction, as I told you, we have been, we don't have that long history. We have been established by year 1999, and since 12 or 13 years, we have been renamed as the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and trying to, as we will see, serve all the engineering tasks that are related not only to energy, but to the profession of mechanical engineering. Now, if we see in some more detail the objectives and the disciplines that we serve, we are involved with energy technology, with the management of energy resources, of course, with the environmental impact of energy, design and maintenance of engines and automatic control systems, testing and manufacture of products and systems, and management of production systems and business administration. This, let's say, it's an overall view of our disciplines, of our field of expertise. Regarding our curriculum, we have, okay, it's a 5-year study. We will see that this leads to us, I will call it the integrated master, it's level 7. But in order for our students to reach the final level of their degrees, we have the first 3 years, we have the courses are common. We prepare our students in order by year 4 to get more involved in the different divisions we have regarding energy, manufacturing, and industrial management. And of course, by year 5, this separation does continue. And perhaps it becomes more specific also. We have also Master in Science master programs. We have 4 programs that are organized by our department. The program of renewable energy is co-hosted by our department and the electrical engineering department. Now, I will not go into detail into the divisions and laboratories. The main idea is that we have 2 main divisions for energy, for the production, let's say, and for the environmental, for the environment and the use of energy. And then we have the division of industrial management, and of course, the division of manufacturing and materials. Now, I think that perhaps the slide will be also available to everyone who is interested. So he or she could go into more detail to see the fields of expertise, the research interests of each of the 4 divisions I have referred to. I have to say that we are doing, as you can see here, not only we are doing experimental and numerical work, which is related to the various problems that we face and to the research that we implement. The same is for the environment and energy use. The same is for the industrial management, and of course, for the manufacturing sector. Now, it's not only the undergraduate and the postgraduate programs. We have parallel educational activities. And these activities could be enhanced with our participation today here. We try to elaborate diploma thesis in collaboration with external bodies. There is the student trainship. We have, of course, international exchanges, the Erasmus. Up to some years ago, we had a double degree program with Consul University. This was a very interesting initiative. And of course, we have educational trips, visits, and this is, for example, a visit we have, okay, it was before the COVID, a visit we had in Bulgaria, in Eula factory, but this was before the COVID. I hope now we will have the opportunity as things may improve in order to continue these activities. Another big activity of our department is the student teams, refers to the student teams. We have the Typhoon, is a university student team that develops, manufactures, and a motorcycle that competes on an international competition. And of course, also the driver is the driver of our team. These photos are from the actual race. Okay, the thing is not to be the best. The thing is to participate. The thing is to work. What I think is most important is the collaboration, is the relations, is the incentives that the students have when participating in these teams. Okay, it happened that all these in this team worked very well, and this was verified that by also some very good results we have. But that's not the scope. And this photo verifies this. We try to have also parallel activities in order to promote the students' life, to give the students good opportunities and a good student life that will help them in their career after they leave the university. Now, the new campus of the engineering school, we hope that we will move by September 2022. This, we hope, will give us some boost, will help us to become more competitive. About the people, I don't have any special comments. We try to collaborate, we try to promote undergraduate, postgraduate, and research. We have a good support by the university, and we try to promote our work. And just as an overall, ending my presentation, I would like just to say some things about our graduates. It was said also before, our graduates, as I told, hold a diploma in mechanical engineering, and they register at the engineering chamber, that is stay in Greece, from which they are granted a relevant professional license according to their inclusion in the specialty of mechanical engineer. And of course, they are awarded the integrated master. Here also, there is a video about our department. Anyone who is interested might see also the video. Thank you again for your invitation. I hope this today will help us to have more students, to have more extroversion, okay, and communicate and promote our work and our lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Panaras. And thank you all the previous presentators that are keeping the time framework. We will have a Q&A section because some questions have been started to arrive. And at the end of the section, we'll have a few minutes to answer the questions. Now I invite Professor Kyratsis Panagiotis from the Department of Products and System Design Engineering. Professor Kyratsis, welcome, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning to all. Thank you very much for the invitation. Hopefully you see my presentation. I'm going to talk to you about some work that we are doing here in the Department of Product and System Design Engineering. We are part of the Faculty Engineering of the University of Western Macedonia. My today's presentation is going to stress more about the aims of the department and which are the core activities or the expertise that we have inside the university, but working with industrial companies as well. So the main idea or the aim of the department is to have a holistic design process for products and systems. We start developing different ideas from the conceptual phase up to the end of the product life cycle. We are using methodological and multidisciplinary approaches for developing concepts. New technologies and implementation of digital tools are part of the game, while at the same time we are spending quite a lot of time for technical management and production and management of production systems. The core modules that all the students are following are the design thinking principles, CAD/CAM and CAE tools, selection of materials, production management, machining and manufacturing, and of course, marketing research and product identity processes. We have, let's say, two directions of expertise within our department, and this is what I'm going to discuss with you today. First of all is the product design, and for those people that they would like to be exposed to the design, the product design process, this is a very good opportunity to join us because we start from the concept design, and in this case we are using design thinking, creativity tools, digital sketching, and so on. You can actually see how we work on with the images on the right-hand side of your screen. We pay a lot of attention on ergonomics, and that's why we are using user experience principles, animation, and consumer behavior. You can actually see that we try to make our products as efficient and effective as we can. Of course, branding is another activity that we take very seriously, and we use digital sculpturing, service design, graphics design, and information design. You can actually see this example on the screen that we start from initial idea, sketching, and then up to the final product, and a lot of applications using your mobile phone. Of course, entrepreneurship is one of the things that we pay a lot of attention, and it works both ways. From one side, we take a number of projects directly from industry, and we work with them closely, and we transfer the research and the academic knowledge to them, while at the same time, we take the experience from them and transfer it directly to our students. Of course, this co-design of products is helping us to keep this road open and being able to provide our students with better positions for working afterwards. At the same time, prototyping is something that in industry, a lot of people, they know us very well. We are paying a lot of attention in creating special design products which are focusing on niche markets or on people that they have a small group. So in this case, we try to pay more attention to these specific areas or needs and the customer demands that we see in the market. Of course, we pay a lot of attention on aesthetic and emotional design. And I should mention in this slide that all the slides that I'm using are part of what our students have created. And you can actually see the detail of what they do, how well they manage to transfer what they have in mind in an actual model on the screen. The second direction that we have a significant amount of expertise is the CAD/CAM systems. And of course, everything starts with computer-aided design, which is the basis for all the downstream applications that we can develop later on. Computational design is something which is we are very active in that. And again, we go towards the number of directions. You can actually see that either we automate the way that we use a CAD system in order to make it more effective and more efficient, while at the same time we're using other tools in order to create very fast a family of products by using applications which are built inside the CAD system. Of course, apart from the design point of view, we are heavily involved with engineering mechanics, product design analysis and manufacturing, and design and manufacturing technologies. Of course, robotics is another area that we are very much into. We are able to offline learn how to program different robotics or different robots, while at the same time we try to optimize the trajectory in order to make the robotics use more effective and more efficient. This is something that we have sufficient expertise, the 3D printing and 3D scanning technology. We have a number of equipment here in our department, and we take a lot of projects directly related to industries and external enterprises. Of course, a department that deals with design cannot be away from different activities, and these activities, they are, let's say, shared between more artistic participations and in engineering participations as well. Another activity that we are very much involved is we have a number of invitations, especially from Europe, to deliver different seminars or workshops or summer schools. So in the area of product design or 3D scanning or prototyping. So from this point of view, it seems like our department is dealing a lot with companies outside from the university and a number of countries outside Greece. Of course, I should mention here that a lot of our students, they like the idea of creating different comics, and something that we did participate three weeks ago. It is this Energy Athens activity that it is something that we participate every year. Of course, last summer we were happy to receive the first place in one of the competitions in order to design footwear for the older people. So again, it was something that offered the opportunity to show the ability of our students to design new products. Of course, our department participates in a variety of EU-funded programs. And I should mention this one because although it seems irrelevant, like safety or all this stuff, it is quite common to have a design department to participate in this kind of projects because after all, design is everywhere. Of course, we have a number of very well-equipped laboratories, and the students can use all these facilities, while at the same time, these facilities are used for all the projects that we have in collaboration of the people outside from the university or from enterprises. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Professor Kyratsis. It's been an interesting presentation. So as you said, design is everywhere and it's very important, of course. Now we'll proceed with Professor Tavultzidou, Assistant Professor at the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering at the University of Western Macedonia.
Good afternoon from Kozani. Good afternoon from the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department of the University of West Macedonia. I would like, let's share my screen first. Okay. Okay. I think you can see my full screen now. Okay.
It's very good. Thank you.
Very good. Okay. Let's go to the first. Okay. All right. Well, I would like to thank Pelagonia Association and the organizing committee of this event because we have the opportunity to introduce our department to students from North Macedonia and probably convince them to choose our department for their studies. Electrical and Computer Engineering belongs to School of Engineering. It is located in Kozani. It is one of the 7 electrical and computer engineering departments in Greece with leading and prominent position in Greek and international academia. With a view to prepare engineers well equipped to follow developments in the ever-evolving areas of electrical and computer engineering, ECE caters for fundamental education and acquisition of professional skills and specialized knowledge in the subject areas of computer science, software and systems technologies, signals, telecommunications and networks, electronic and electrical engineering, and energy. ECE facilities are housed in 2 buildings, one at the eastern entrance of Kozani and the other at Kila campus. School of Engineering and therefore ECE is going to be soon relocated to a new campus. The department facilities involve department administration service, auditoriums, lecture rooms, libraries, teaching staff offices, state-of-the-art laboratories. Let's have a look at these state-of-the-art laboratories of our departments, which cover the subject areas of informatics, telecommunications, robotics, digital signals and computer architecture, digital health and biomedical engineering, electrotechnics, electronics, power electronics, electrical measurements, automated control systems, electronic constructions, electric machines, internal electrical installations, industrial electrical installations, microcomputers and PC networks, renewable energy sources, and generation, transmission, and distribution of electric power. ECE is one of the largest departments of the University of Western Macedonia. Let's have a look at the people working in our department. 26 permanent professors and 25 adjunct ones comprise the academic staff, whereas 9 people work as laboratory and laboratory teaching and technical staff. Administration service is provided by 4 people, and there are also about 60 external collaborators in funded research. About 3,000 students attend the 3 undergraduate programs currently running, whereas there are about 100 PhD candidates conducting their doctoral research and 250 postgraduate students enrolled in master's degree programs. ECE runs or collaborates in the following postgraduate programs: one PhD program in electrical and computer engineering, a master's degree program, MSc in mechatronics, a master's degree program, MSc in renewable energy systems and energy in buildings, in collaboration with the Mechanical Engineering Department of WOM, a master's degree program, MSc in Management Information System, in collaboration with the Business Administration Department of WOM, a master's degree program, MSc in Modern Information Technologies and Services, in collaboration with Piraeus University and Informatics Department of WOM. Aiming at innovation and excellence, ECE fosters postdoctoral research, which is also carried out in the department. ECE conducts high-level research in various research areas. More than 50 research projects are being carried out at the moment. Research areas concern network design, evaluation and performance analysis, optimization and management, design and support of advanced services in distributed computing environments, intelligent systems, design and analysis of algorithms, data structures, data mining, system design and optimization, biomedical signal processing, electronic health applications, electronic circuits design, embedded systems, microelectronics, nanoelectronics, and applied mathematics in engineering. Research is carried out in our cutting-edge laboratories, the laboratories of applied and computational electromagnetism, biomedical technology and digital health, intelligent systems and optimization, Internet of Things and applications, networks and advanced services, robotics, embedded and integrated systems. Research projects of the department have been awarded and funded by the European Union, the University of West Macedonia, national and international companies and organizations. EC faculty members have been awarded and distinguished for scientific and research work. Students' clubs have been distinguished in national and international competitions. Now, let's have a look at our undergraduate course structure. EC course structure, undergraduate course structure, evenly reflects the convergence, correlation, and complementary relationship between electrical engineering and computer science, covering a wide range of information technology, telecommunications, circuit and electronics, and energy subjects. The minimum course duration is 10 semesters, 5 years, and study advisors are available to provide advice and guidance for successful completion of studies. More particularly, core courses are offered during the first 6 semesters of study to provide basic background in mathematics, physics, and electrical engineering. And during the 7th semester, students are entitled to choose between the following 3 division specializations of study: computer and electronics engineering, telecommunications engineering, power and energy engineering. Upon successful completion of studies, graduates will have acquired the knowledge and abilities and skills to design, implement, support, and maintain systems and services for energy generation, transmission, distribution, and storage, as well as the processing, control, and use of information. And of course, they will be conferred the degree of electrical and computer engineer with integrated master. We are proud that EC students, and not only students from all the different departments of the University of Western Macedonia, are engaged in the 5 student clubs supervised by EC academic staff. The Students Club is the IEEE Students Branch, the Aspire Aerospace Research Engineering, the Hyperion Robotics, the Security and Hacking Club, and the Game Development Club. All these clubs have been distinguished in different competitions, winning first or second awards. Access to all of these opportunities is just one of the things that makes being a student at the electrical and computer engineering department such a dynamic and fulfilling experience. EC cooperates with more than 38 partner institutions to promote mobility opportunities for studies and internships abroad offered by the Erasmus Students Exchange program. Now, let's move to career prospects of our graduates. According to WOM Career Office, EC graduates are highly absorbed in the labor market. Several of them excel both in Greece and abroad in the academic, scientific, and professional fields. Therefore, graduates' career prospects are particularly auspicious as there is strong demand in the private sector and organizations, and unemployment in the field is rather low. More particularly, EC graduates are employed as executives in all kinds of companies and organizations, or are self-employed. Now, regarding the types of their employment and fields of expertise, these are electrical energy, telecommunications, information technology, software industry, internet and mobile technologies, automations, electronics, industrial and residential installations. For future graduates, current or future students of our department, promising employment prospects concern the fields of artificial intelligence and machine learning, Internet of Things, cybersecurity, biomedical engineering and bioinformatics, electromobility, electrical power systems, and renewable energy sources. Coming to an end, we should refer to the EC development plan. As we have already mentioned, engineering school and therefore EC is relocating to a new campus. You can see two photos of this campus. We are looking forward to meeting to this new campus. This relocation, of course, means upgrading of laboratory infrastructure with cutting-edge equipment. Moreover, in the framework of internationalization fostered by the University of Western Macedonia, EC schedules master's degree and doctoral programs in collaboration with foreign universities. Also, undergraduate, postgraduate, doctoral programs offered in English. Organization of summer schools and short educational training programs. And finally, encouragement of student exchange programs like Erasmus, EST, and implementation of strategic partnerships and research and development agencies. You can, for more information, you can find more information about our department on our webpage. You can find us on Facebook, or you can email us at ec@universityofwestmacedonia.gr. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Professor Tavoulidou. It's been a sincerely eye-catching presentation, but also you provided us with a big range of information, everything that a student needs. So really remarkable job. Thank you so much. Next is the professor Professor Vergados Dimitrios from the Department of Informatics.
Yes, hello from me. Let me share my screen 1 minute. So, hi, my name is Dimitris Vergados from the Department of Informatics and Computer Science in the University of Western Macedonia. First, I'd like to thank the organizers for this event. I think it's really useful for the students to see some prospects that they may have in Greek universities, and also for us to attract new human capital from our neighboring countries. So this is the outline of the presentation. First, I'll make a small introduction of why we should study computer science. Then I will focus on why I study at Kastoria specifically in Greece. Then I'll present some information about the department, and finally some contact information. So the main reason to study computer science is that we are living in a digital age. There's a huge transformation of all industries. Everything literally now is governed by computers, and all the industries need new software and new hardware that will power them. So this puts computer scientists in a very strong position because they're able to capitalize on this transformations. All the devices that we are using, smartphones, tablets, computers, and even social media and various internet applications are in their lowest level governed by computer programs. And in our school, what we will do is teach the students to develop such systems and be able to improve these technologies. Computer science is a science that can make the world a better place. Many businesses and processes and governments rely on computing systems of various forms. So our students are equipped with the opportunity to be able to improve on all these different industries, whether we talk about healthcare, banking, transportation, accounting, education. virtually every industry is helped by software. Also, there's a humanitarian aspect. Computer science has helped improve living conditions and avert disasters in various different forms. Now, another aspect that's also important for our students is that it is a very highly marketable skill. Computer scientists are in very high demand across all industries, as I mentioned before. There's practically no industry in this day and age that doesn't depend on some kind of software or some kind of system to facilitate its operation. So this has resulted in very low unemployment. And another important aspect is that the skill is transferable. That means that you don't rely on any specific, you don't need to have a specific certification from a government or something like this. So you can study in Greece and work in the whole Europe. You can work in the States, in Asia, wherever you want to go. And you can even work remotely in many cases. So you can stay in your home country and be paid in a salary of a much more developed country. Also, the compensation is quite high, even for new graduates. So this is also something that the students recognize, and it's the reason that we have the highest number of new students each year from the whole university. Also, there is opportunities for academic career. Computer science is necessary for practically all the fields of research. So this means that somebody that has a bachelor degree from a computer science department will be able to find a postgraduate or a doctoral program to enroll if he wants to change subject in the future. Here we see some of the different specializations. I won't go into very many details for the interest of time. Another aspect that has to be highlighted is that computer science can be considered as a form of art. You bring to life novel applications. So this gives you a lot of creativity. So in my opinion, it's also something fun to do and not only something that is going to pay your bills. So about Kastoria, a few words. This is the location of our city. It's in the north of Greece, very close to Albania and very close to North Macedonia, specifically Bitola. So this means that we are pretty accessible for the students that want to come and study at our city. It's a beautiful city, probably the best city in Western Macedonia, at least, on a very nice lake and some well-preserved buildings. It also has a very low cost of living compared to other cities of Greece. So this is something that some students may want to consider if they come to study at Kastoria. We have an airport, a good connection through a modern highway, and also Kastoria is famous for the food, so for people that are interested in that. About our department, we were created in 2004, and after 2019, we are part of the University of Western Macedonia, and we belong to the School of Sciences together with the Department of Mathematics. The structure of the curriculum is 4 years, so it's not 5 years like the ones that you heard before. So this gives the students a bit more flexibility into what they can do in the future. There's an opportunity to have a diploma thesis, which can give you a more specialized knowledge in a specific domain. And in total, it is 240 ECDS points. We also have funded apprenticeships that are optional for our students, and this gives them the opportunity to work in the industry before they actually get their degree, and hopefully continue to work in the same industry afterwards, or at least acquire some experience that can be very helpful when they are looking for their first job. Also, we offer the pedagogical adequacy program that allows our students to teach in Greek primary and secondary schools if they want to. This is optional. Here we can see some photos of the infrastructure. The university is located in the city of Kastoria, and on top of a hill, a beautiful location. And here we can see some photos of the different buildings that are in the campus. And some more pictures here. This is the university restaurant that was built just a couple of years ago. We have several auditoriums. We have some classrooms. We have some laboratories. I think 5 laboratories fully equipped with computers that the students can study in and do their laboratory work. We also participate in the Erasmus Plus program, which gives the opportunity to our students to travel to different countries if they want to. Finally, regarding research, we have 3 laboratories. One about microcomputer and microcontroller electronic systems and control and robotics laboratory. We have a laboratory regarding programming, design, application, and digital system laboratory. And we have the telecommunication networks and distributed system laboratory, where I am the director of. Also, the faculty is very active in different publications and various research projects, either EU funded or national. So there is a lot of opportunity for students if they want to participate in such programs to either do a PhD or a postdoctoral program. We actually have a student that's from Albania too, so we are already starting to have the international PhD program. There are also several student groups that help with the socialization of the students. The biggest one is the IEEE student branch of Kastoria and the Linux Society. We also have a robotics group and the Erasmus student network. And we are offering a master degree course with 2 different directions. One has to do specializations. One has to do with telecommunication systems, internet technologies, Internet of Things, and system security. And we also have a second program that concerns the application of informatics and communication in education. So the second one is mostly targeted to people that want to become computer science educator. As I said before, we have a doctoral program and some postdoctoral students that are working in our research projects. So this is the contact information for anybody that's interested. Feel free to either call or email or visit our website to see more information. And that was my presentation. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Professor Vergalos. Professor Vergalos and also Professor Tavoudzidou mentioned unemployment. That's quite a significant problem, especially in the Balkans. So I would like to address to the students, consider that, firstly, that's the first thing you should consider about studying. And also Professor Vergalos mentioned the food in Kastoria is very good. So that's an interesting aspect. Well, and thank you, Professor Vergalos, for using our logo of the event for your presentation. Now, from the School of Informatics from the Department of Informatics from the University of Western Macedonia, we move to Thessaloniki, to the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, the School of Informatics. The Aristotle University perhaps is the largest university in Greece, if I don't mistake. And we are happy to welcome Professor Stamelos, whom we thank for the immediate response. Professor Stamelos, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And many thanks to Pelagonia Association for organizing this event. I hope you can hear me well. Let me share my screen.
Yes, everything is good.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, it's very good.
Okay, thanks. So I will be presenting the School of Informatics of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. I'm not going to say anything about Thessaloniki or the food of Thessaloniki. You know all very well this city. As it was mentioned before, Aristotle University is the largest university in Greece, but it is also the largest university in the Balkan area, the entire Balkan area. School of Informatics belongs to the School of Sciences. It's this building here. And the glass building, as we call it, is also a building that we use for our school. It is the newest school of the Faculty of Sciences. There are another 5 schools there, including mathematics, physics, biology, etc. It was founded in 1991. You can see here our numbers. We have 3 sectors or departments, 6 labs. We have 7 actually master science programs. We have a level of student intake around 210 per year. Currently, we have 1,200 active undergraduate students, 383 postgraduate students in these 7 master programs, and 124 PhD students. We are 30 professors. These are the basic numbers for our department, for our school. Now, Professor Vergados explained very well why you should very seriously consider studying in informatics or computer science. The term is the same, actually, because of the excellent job finding opportunities in this area, and because of the so many interesting and important developments in this science. We are divided in 3 sectors, and you can see that we cover most topics in computer science. Sector 1 deals with web and internet, data and knowledge engineering. Sector B deals with software, hardware, and foundations, computer science foundations like various areas of mathematics, statistics, electronic design, and so on. And Sector C is about communication networks and information analysis sector, which is about, for example, signal processing and computational intelligence. These are our labs. You can also see the names of the professors if you're interested. We have the Intelligent Systems Lab, Intelligent Systems Lab with Professor Brachavas, Data Science and Web Lab, Software Interactive Technologies Lab, this is where I belong, Statistic, Applied Mathematics, Electronic Physics Lab with Professor Konfaos, Communication Networks and Information Analysis Sector. Here we have another 2 labs, Artificial Intelligence and Information Analysis Lab with Professor Pitas. Professor Pitas is one of the most famous computer scientists in the world. And Network and Communication System Lab with Professor Giorgos Papadimitriou. Now, about our undergraduate studies, we do have a 4 years curriculum. We have a common core program for the first 5 semesters, where you learn some mathematics, statistics, electronics and electronic design, computer architecture, software engineering, educational technologies, and stuff like this. After this core 5 semesters, our students have another 3 semesters where they can choose elective courses from the so-called course streams. You can see here these course streams. There are 9, and they really cover almost everything in computer science. So artificial intelligence, data and web management, software engineering, learning technologies, scientific computing, which is foundations of computer science again, communication networks and system security. Security is #1 priority in our times. Computer and communication systems, very basic knowledge, digital media and computational intelligence, and robotics and autonomous systems as well. Now, at the end of your studies, you will be asked to develop a bachelor thesis of good quality, and in one of these 9 streams. We also provide for internship programs in the public and private sectors. And we are in contact with several important companies in our area. The area of Thessaloniki in the past few years has seen a lot of very well-known companies, international companies, coming in to build innovation hubs or to build their local departments. I'm mentioning a few of them: Pfizer, Huawei, Accenture, Deloitte, and so on. Our postgraduate programs, digital media and computational intelligence, artificial intelligence, data and web science, interactive hardware and software technologies, communication networks, and system security. They are more or less an expansion of the course streams I presented before in the undergraduate program. And we also have postgraduate programs in management information systems. This is a joint program with the Department of the School of Finance in Aristotle University, medical informatics with School of Medicine and electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering with various schools around the Aristotle University. The Aristotle University has 41 schools, which makes it so easy to build interdisciplinary programs and research. What do our students that have graduated say about us? They are happy to have finished their studies in our school. 97.3% of them would recommend the school to other candidates. We have several distinctions. This is just one. We are around number 200 in the world, according to NTU ranking in computer science. And this guide to research list ranks Aristotle University the top university in computer science, as you can see, in Greece. And there are several other distinctions in the area on an individual basis. We have also contributed a lot to the COVID era education, which increased demanded and worldwide demanded the remote educational process. So we were the pioneers in establishing distance learning methods. We have an active group that deals with educational technologies. They have defined the protocols for distance learning at Aristotle University and in Greece in general, including the remote exams. This is my presentation. Thank you for attending. I will be happy to answer to any questions at the end of this session.
Thank you so much, Professor Stamelos. And at this point, we close the first section, the first part, dedicated to polytechnical sciences and computer science. Before we proceed, or as we proceed to the Q&A section, the first speaker is our guest, our attendee, Professor Sonia Chalamani, professor at the Faculty of Technical Sciences at the University of St. Clement Ochridsky in Bitola, who would like shortly to address to the guests.
Good afternoon. Excuse me. Good afternoon. My name is Sonia Chalamani, and I'm an associate professor at the Faculty of Technical Science, St. Clement Ochridsky, University of Bitola. It was a great honor to hear your presentation now, and I'm very happy that the existence of this kind of initiatives that help the cooperation between young people and universities from our two countries. Thank you very much. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Okay, thank you, Professor Chalamani. Now, we proceed to the Q&A section. We have quite a few questions for this part, for the first part. Many of them were also already answered in the presentations. Now, we'll start. There's a question for Professor Panaras. No, sorry. It's a general question to the University of Western Macedonia for the first part. Is the diploma equally accepted in all the countries in the world? The diploma from these departments presented today.
I don't know if some other colleague may answer. To my knowledge, for all the members of the technical chamber, but also I think for the other departments, our diploma is recognized. There's not an issue of recognition. The other colleagues may support, may help me on this, but I think it's recognized. Of course, for the EU for sure. I don't know for some countries in the Asia or in the America, for example, but I think it's recognized. There's not an issue of recognition. And okay. As I told you, for most of the departments, it's level 7. This is the integrated master, which is also important.
Nice. Thank you. Also for this, for your school, for the Polytechnical School, what grades does one need to apply for the studies? Is there any special requirements for students from abroad, for foreign students? this an information you could provide today, some of the professors?
Well, for the mechanical, this is, I think, also for the engineering school as a whole. I think at this level, we encourage foreign students to come to study, but I have the impression that this is not how to call it. This procedure does not have a specific grade level. This depends on the application of each student, I think. And of course, I have to add here that since our programs are taught in Greek, I think beyond the grades, what is most important is the knowledge of Greek language is at this level. I hope that in the future we could overcome this issue also in order perhaps to provide some English taught programs. This is valid for our master programs, but for the undergraduate, still we depend on the knowledge of Greek. Perhaps, I don't know, from the Polytechnic school, some other colleague may also add something on this.
And also for the Aristotle University.
And we can come, perhaps we can come with more information and contact our communication office, and I can come back with more information, something more specific if we have on this.
Okay, thank you. Professor Stamelos, what about the Aristotle University? What about your school? Are there any requirements special?
No, whatever is valid for Western Macedonia is valid also for Aristotle University.
Okay.
I don't have further input to provide on this.
Okay. I'm sorry for asking this once again. It's just a question from the audience. Are the years of studying 4 or 5 at your school for undergraduate?
Excuse me, are you asking me?
Yes, Professor Stamelos.
Yes, it's 4 years, definitely. And 1.5 years for the master programs.
So that was the next question. What about University of Western Macedonia, the Polytechnical School? The master's, the undergraduate is always 5 years for the Polytechnical studies?
Yes, it's 5 years, and it's a single, it's not divided. You have to complete a 5-year schedule, but then you are also awarded the master degree. Perhaps Professor Ziegle can add something.
Yes.
Please.
Courses last 5 years, and when you finish, you are conferred a degree of a diploma, and it is an integrated master because in our curricula we include courses that are generally included in postgraduate studies. That is why we confer the integrated master as well.
So it's a whole. You can divide it, and you...
Yes, no, it is 5 years, and
it's 5 years in
yes,
a whole. Okay.
And the diploma is recognized all around Europe, as far as I know. And the University of West Macedonia also provides the diploma supplement. And in this, in the diploma supplement, student, it is all the rights and all the. It is very well described what our graduates can do abroad and where they work. So there is no problem of recognition of the diploma offered by the Polytechnic or the engineering school of the University of West Macedonia.
Okay, thank you. Someone else from the professors would like to give any other answer, or that's it?
Just to mention that our computer science department is also 4 years, so it's not 5 as the engineering. Because we're in the School of Sciences.
Yeah, so you are not inside the School of Polytechnical Science.
Yes, exactly.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So it's 4 years and 1.5 years for the master's program.
Very nice. Useful information indeed. Thank you all. We have some general questions that will go at the end of the event for the universities in general and the studies and dorms and so on. So since we don't have any more questions, we proceed to the second part, which is dedicated to the arts. Today, we will also learn about the opportunities offered by the Department of Fine and Applied Arts of the University of Western Macedonia. Here at Pelagonia Association, we have a special bond with artistic expression. Therefore, we are glad to hear about it. With us is the Professor Vasilios Konstantinos. Professor, welcome.
Hello to everybody. Now, to be honest, I was expecting more of a question and answer session and an interactive session.
We have questions, but
my presentation is rather short, more informal. But following the previous discussions, I think I will be able to give across all the information needed. And maybe, judging from the questions already posed, I will be able to attend some of them. Let me just open my presentation.
Yes, take your time, please.
So, the study of fine arts. The study of fine arts in Greece involves a very broad area of subjects and artistic skills, as it is common in most fine arts departments nowadays. It can involve traditional media as painting and sculpture, till graphic design, digital media, ceramics, or even graffiti. Now, sorry for this image, is a rather small size. Now, the study of fine arts in Greece has a quite long tradition, and there are fine arts schools, and the Fine Arts School of Athens was established 180 years ago, along with the beginning of the Greek state. But nowadays, there are, here's another photo from the study of fine arts around the 20s. And the study of fine arts right now, it is divided along 4 different schools across Greece. One of them is the Fine Arts School of Athens. And this is a view of its library, who is one of the most important libraries for the study of art in the Balkans. The Fine Arts School of the Aristotelian University at Thessaloniki, at Ioannina, and ours, which was established in 2006, and this was the original building allocated to the Department of Fine Arts and Applied Arts, which unfortunately is not in usage right now. But the good news is that fortunately we are underway of having a large-scale new building, which will commence hopefully in 2023, next year. It's one of the largest projects for a fine arts school in Southern Europe right now. Now, the entrance to the fine arts school is peculiar. And I would say that Greece has a rather traditional system for the acceptance of students. There is no portfolio, there is no dossier. It's exams in situ, which are on drawing. So there is no qualification of grades, there is no qualification for special diplomas from high school. There is no extra degree needed, and the only thing is to pass the exams that are being carried out every September in all of the 4 fine arts schools in Greece, in Athens, Thessaloniki, Florina, and Ioannina. And there is an agreement between the schools that are being carried out in different dates. So candidates can go to each of these schools and have the different exams carried out. The exams are rather similar, and they're being actually carried out by, as I said, in situ drawings made of several subjects that are being allocated by the staff of the faculty. Now, our department is in Florina, which is a scenic town in Western Macedonia. Here's a view of the river. And here is a short view of where it is exactly located. As you can see, it's located very near the border with North Macedonia. And Bitola is actually around half an hour to 40 minutes drive from Florina. And that means that not only in formal, let's say, agreements between the 2 countries, there can be a lot of cooperation, but there is even, let's say, a more informal way of communicating with North Macedonia. For example, me and my colleagues, we occasionally enjoy a meal and a coffee after classes by going and enjoying the beautiful city of Bitola. Now, as I said, when studying fine arts today, in most fine arts schools around the world, and especially in Europe and the United States, it does not only comprise of studying drawing and sculpture. There are a lot of artistic means and modes of expression. As you can see here from a photo from one of our students that is doing a performance, or digital media, as you can see here from a projection mapping project that took place a few months ago in Florina, where the students made a special in situ installation for light projections on central buildings of the city. Our school also has, as most fine art schools in Greece, have artistic stations. Ours is located in Prespes, in the area of the Prespes Lake, which is a common ground border and lake border between Albania, North Macedonia, and Greece. There the students can be part of artistic residencies. That means that they can stay there for an allocated amount of time and complete some artistic work. And there are also a lot of events, conferences, and happenings that are being organized by our school, as you can see here from a photo from an artistic event that combines artistic expression with walking practices. Here is a view from the interior of our current building, and this is a view from the final work that has been carried out by our students. Now, all the School of Fine Arts in Greece, including the one in Florina, have an amount of study that is in 5 years, 10 semesters. This is also equivalent to an integrated master. And as said before, an integrated master in Greece, as in most European countries, is equivalent with the level 7 in the index of European interpretation skills. Also, it is important to note that in the final year of our studies, the vast effort of the student is to produce a body of work that he or she will represent as his first artistic work, and it is a work that will more or less be his or hers passport for the art world. Our student projects are being carried out all around the city of Florina. And a lot of times, oftenly our students participate to various exhibitions around Greece. There is a special also biennale for Greek students that are studying the fine arts, which is taken as the word denotes every 2 years. Here's another map of of the works of the students around the city of Florina. And here is also a brochure, an affiche from an exhibition that our students made via the artistic medium of etching, which was organized in Athens. So studying fine arts in Greece is a very, let's say, good opportunity. And a very useful thing to know is that most of the fine arts school in European countries, especially Germany and France, also have 5-year programs. That means that your diploma is, of course, recognized in all of the European Union, but additionally, that means that your diploma is also recognized in several countries that have 5-year-old School of Fine Arts diploma equivalent to the American MFA. So this is my short presentation. I'm looking forward, first of all, to seeing you in Florina, and second of all, to address some of the questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a few questions, but we also have our guest from the University of Goce, Professor Sasha Popovsky, that will also like to say just a few words.
Yes, thank you all. Do you hear me?
Yes, it's all good.
Okay.
Just Professor Vassiliou, would you like to close the presentation?
Yes, I'm doing that right now, actually.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I want to say thank you and kalimera to everybody. And it is nice to see this type of presentation, which is very helpful to connect our two countries. And thank to all the previous professors and state representatives that explained the universities in Greece. Please, Christian, can you share my university webpage so I can speak about the Goce University in Skopje, which is the youngest university in the North Macedonia, and established itself 15 years ago. But we managed to take the second place by the Shanghai list in the classification of North Macedonia universities. And for that young university, it's a big achievement. We have 12 faculties at the university: agriculture, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, faculty of technology, computer science, faculty of natural and technical science, faculty of medicine science, faculty of economics, law, philosophy, faculty of educational science, and faculty of tourism and business logistics. And we have 3 academies: Academy of Art, Fine Arts, as you said, the previous speaker. We have a Film Academy, and also we have the Music Academy. And I'm a representative of the Chief of Jazz Department at the Music Academy. And we can say that in the last 15 years, we educated, we are focused on quality education, not on only on numbers. And yes, I think that we managed to produce some interesting students, some interesting albums that they are recorded by our students. And we also are part of the Erasmus program, so we are doing that type of exchange. In the last 15 years, we had international students exactly on the jazz department, which is the only jazz department in North Macedonia and in the region. And we had students from Serbia, from Albania, from Turkey. A lot of students come from Turkey. And sadly, we don't have any students from Greece, but I think that this will be the start of one future collaboration between our two countries, and we can welcome interesting students that are interested in studying jazz music here at the University of Goce. Yes, if you have any question, I'm trying to be as short as possible because it's a long event now. So please contact me. I will send my email address and contacts. And yes, looking to hear from all of you. Best. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We have two questions for Professor Vasiliou first. Is the age a boundary to enter the School of Fine Arts?
No. It's a simple question, no.
Oh, that's nice. And what about the language?
Well,
age and language. That are the two questions. We have more questions, but you already answered that. So
now, yeah, just say that the age is not only, there is no age limit, and we have a lot of students that are not in their 20s, in their 30s or the 40s. The language, though, it is defined by all the Greek universities as a specific diploma. It's C1 or C2, I don't know.
It's B2 usually. That's good. Okay, so maybe in future there will be also an English program or something like that.
Hopefully.
Nice. And you mentioned how one enters. You covered that question. And about the high school, so that's it about the School of Fine Arts. You already knew the question, so you answered. Thank you, Professor Vasiliou. Now, for the third and last part for today, we kept the scientific field that is closest to our activities. It is what we do, teaching Greek as a foreign language. For more than 10 years now, an essential supporter and a sincere friend of Pelagonia Association has been the Professor of Applied Linguistics of the University of Western Macedonia, Professor Eleni Griva. Professor Griva, thank you for being with us once more.
Thank you, Mr. Velyanov, and thank you for your kind words. I'm glad and honored to participate in this event organized by Pelagonia Association, and please accept my congratulations on having taken the initiative to organize the event Studies in Greece once again. I participated in the one hosted last year, and I think it was a very interesting and useful experience for all the participants. Mr. Velyanov, I would like also to thank you for the fruitful and creative collaboration we've built all these years, since long-term relationships have been formed between the University of Western Macedonia and the Pelagonia Association on issues related to Greek as a foreign language, as you already have mentioned about this. Either on an informal or formal basis, all these years, a number of joint activities and a variety of initiatives have been undertaken on encouraging innovation in language learning and teaching. Now, in my presentation, I'll share very briefly with you some information about our university, the University of Western Macedonia, and I'll focus on the research opportunities provided by our university, particularly through the University Research Center Timenos. As this session is dedicated to foreign languages, I'll focus my presentation on the Institute of Greek Language. So just a minute to share. Okay. The university is on the borderline with North Macedonia. It is amazing that the distance between Florina city and Bitola city is 34 kilometers. It operates on 5 campuses in 5 cities: Kozani, Florina, Kastoria, Ptolemaida, Grevena. The academic programs offered in 5 cities of our university cover a wide range of scientific areas. 5 faculties are accommodated. 2 of them have just been presented in many details. The Faculty of Engineering and the Faculty of Fine Art and Applied Arts. The Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, which is closely related to the Institute of Greek Language. The Economic Sciences, the Faculty of Agriculture, the Faculty of Health Sciences, and the Faculty of Sciences. These 5 faculties include 22 departments, and 27 postgraduate programs are offered in our university. A total number of 17,400 students attend undergraduate studies. 2,500 postgraduate studies are attended by such a number of students, and these students either attending undergraduate studies or postgraduate studies are provided with a series of opportunities for basic and applied research. So the university supports and invests in innovation and research from engineering and economics to humanities, arts, and health sciences. More than 350 national and European projects have been managed by Iran, and a number of postgraduate students are actively involved in these programs. In order to boost research and offer more opportunities to pursue creative work in a variety of disciplines, as well as to provide support to academic efforts, 2 years ago, the University Research Center was established as a structured unit within the university with the goal to promote, first of all, applied research, and then to enable interaction among academicians, scholars, students, schools, society, and enterprises to enhance research opportunities. The Research Center Timenos includes a number of institutes, independent research-oriented institutes. The Institute for Energy Development, the Institute for Research in Humanities, the Institute of Traditional Architecture, the Institute of Audiovisual Arts, the Institute of Civil Protection, the Institute for the Sustainable Development. Among these institutes is the Institute of Greek Language, which I'm going to present in a few words. What's the purpose of this institute? It investigates language learning and teaching across other disciplines. It supports the development of learning and teaching and enhances language and teaching expertise among pre-graduate, postgraduate students, and PhD candidates. It collaborates with national and international experts in language research, and particularly in teaching and learning Greek as a foreign language. So the focus of research is on language learning, language teaching, intercultural communication, and Greek as a second foreign language. The Institute launches also activities beyond the scope of single disciplines, and it promotes research on Greek language and culture comparatively with other cultures. We are very proud that we develop cooperation with a number of centers and departments of Greek language and culture abroad, and with some other organizations or Greek diaspora unions in many countries all over the world. Very briefly, I'll show some actions that took place in the COVID era during these 2 years. 3 online conferences on topics related to teaching Greek language and culture in modern educational contexts, either in Greece or abroad, were organized. Training seminars for language teachers who teach Greek as a second language to immigrant refugee children, as well as to Greek language teachers who teach abroad, were delivered. Online Greek foreign language courses for international students were offered. Moreover, 2 online conferences for the International Greek Language Day and 4 online world events with Greek diaspora unions were organized during these 2 years. As I already mentioned, we're very proud that we have established close cooperation with scientific organizations abroad, with associations and institutes in many countries in Europe and out of Europe. Among these institutes among this association is the Pelagonia Association, and I thank once again Mr. Velyanov for this creative cooperation. Now, I'll end this very brief presentation with giving some reasons for a young person to choose the university to study. So, why? One, our university offers high academic standards by providing high-level research and educational activities, however, in a friendly and encouraging environment for students. Moreover, practical activities and laboratories always complement theoretical lectures, regardless of the chosen study field. I also have to underline that we have built tight relationships with schools, enterprises, energy industries where our students could conduct their practicum. Apart from academic tasks, students can be involved in a number of social and cultural activities and participate in various student clubs. My colleagues from the various departments of our university have presented a number of student clubs. Finally, Western Macedonia is a safe and friendly region for all students and offers plenty of touristic, cultural activities and sports. For this purpose, before COVID era, a number of visits and excursions to cultural sites were scheduled every year. So, thank you very much for the invitation. I congratulate once more for this excellent initiative, and looking forward to see young people from North Macedonia in Florina, in Kozani, Ptolemaida, in Kastoria, and thank you once again, Mr. Velyanov.
Thank you, Professor Griva. Well, University of Western Macedonia has had many students at least from Bitola, my friends, our students, former students, your current students. So we are very glad to cooperate.
I can see one of them in.
Yes. And so the third part has only two representatives, and that is constituted by the Departments of Foreign Languages, Translation and Interpretation. First, we will listen to the presentation of the Associate Professor Ioannis Karas from the Department of Foreign Languages, Translation and Interpreting of the Ionian University and the beautiful island of Corfu. Professor Karas, welcome.
So, thank you. Okay, so dear dignitaries, dear colleagues, dear students, dobro utro. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly.
Dobro utro. Dobar den.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Pelagonia Association and you especially, Mr. Velyanov, for this invitation. It's my pleasure to be among so many friends and colleagues here, many of whom I know. As you already mentioned, my name is Ioannis, or short Yannis Karas, and I'm an associate professor and the Erasmus Plus institutional coordinator for my university, which is the Ionian University. And before I go to the specifics of my department, please allow me to give you an overall idea or view of the Ionian University. So as you mentioned, just a little bit of geography, the main campus is located on the island of Corfu. And we also have departments on 3 other islands in the Ionian Sea, and that's Lefkada, Kefalonia, and Zakynthos. All of them very beautiful islands, and of course worth mentioning. And since I'm on the, I'm promoting the island of Corfu, I'm going to show you some pictures briefly here to get an idea of what a wonderful place Corfu is as an island. And here are some pictures from the Ionian University. So Ionian University is one of the newer universities in Greece. It comprises 5 faculties, 12 departments, approximately 11,000 undergraduate students, and approximately 1,100 master's and PhD students. So we have quite a big number of postgraduate students at the university. We are proud of our international presence. We have, as a university, we have about 250 bilateral agreements and MOUs with institutions and universities around the world. And you can see here that we have 180 collaboration. We have collaboration with 180 universities in over 40 countries around the world. And this includes Europe, Asia, and North America. So the Ionian University aims to provide high quality education, knowledge, and experience to its students. And another main aim is to strengthen the existing collaborations and to create new collaborations with institutions and research centers around the world. Now, to go specifically to the department I belong to, which is the Department of Foreign Languages, Translation and Interpreting, I have to say that this is the only university department in Greece that offers an undergraduate program in these fields. So in the field of translation and interpreting, at the master's and PhD level, similar programs are offered at other universities, but at the undergraduate level, this is the only undergraduate program dedicated to translation and interpreting studies. And most of our students, I think it's about 87% of our students choose our department as their first choice. Now, we offer a 4-year undergraduate program, and it is organized in 2 study cycles or 2 streams or 2 specializations. One is in translation studies and the other one is in interpreting. So the undergraduate program offers trilingual translation and interpreting. So the focus is on Greek, English, French, Greek and English, or Greek and French, or Greek and German. So I'm probably going to answer a question that might arise, which is, do you need to speak Greek to come to this department? And the answer is yes. Your level of Greek has to be quite good in order to be able to, study successfully in our department. We also offer 2 Master of Arts programs. One is in the science of translation, and the other one is in politics, language, and intercultural communication. And of course, we offer PhD programs and postdoctoral research opportunities. And here I have to stress the fact that both our master's programs and our PhD studies programs, they're free. So there no tuition is required in any of these programs. Now, as I mentioned, we have the 2 streams. One is in translation studies and the other one is in interpreting. So once you enter our department, all students are enrolled in translation. So you can either complete the translation stream, which is 4 years, or during your 3rd year, after a selection process, which I have to say is quite an intense and strict selection process. Only about 10 students make it into the stream out of 40 or 50 applicants that we have. You can go into the area of interpreting. Or another thing that you can do, something which students often do, is that they finish the translation stream, so 4 years, and they do an additional 2 years and also finish the stream of, or the specialization in interpreting. Now, the first 2 years of our program, the focus is a little bit more general. So the focus is on language, cultural and intercultural studies, linguistics, literature, translation theory, political science, law, basics of economics, and other scientific fields that students can take courses in. And during the 3rd and 4th years, the focus is more on a specialized translation and interpreting courses. So here is where students do, if I can say, heavy duty translation courses in the areas of economics, politics, law, literature, etc., or technical translation. Now, additional languages that we offer in our department, but students do not specialize in these. These are just additional languages that they can take. And they're basically Spanish, Italian, Turkish, and we are introducing Farsi and Russian. So although we are a theoretical field, we do use laboratories as well, because a lot of technology is involved in translation and interpreting, for example, computational linguistics, etc. So we do have different labs. For that, I'm not going to go into great detail. And we're very proud of our international scientific networks that we have been engaging in. And here you have, I'm providing you some examples of such networks and such cooperations, which we have at an international level. Just recently, actually last week, we established a new cooperation with George Mason University in Virginia. So we're also very proud of that. And it's going to be a very close and hopefully fruitful cooperation. We also run 3 summer schools. Hopefully we're slowly going back to these summer schools because of COVID. They were postponed. So one of them has to do, is called the Laboratory of Geocultural Analysis. The other one is a summer school of Greek language. So that's, I guess, relevant to you guys here as well, history and culture. And the third one is the International Summer Academy for Intercultural Communication. And I'm very proud of that one as well, because I've set it up and I run it every year. So hopefully starting again in 2023, they will run again. We have other cooperations that we're also very proud of. The Hellenic Sign Language Interpreters Association, we've joined forces with them. And we have, as I mentioned earlier, several very active MOUs with universities around the world. We have a very strong presence within the context of the Erasmus Plus program. We have, as a department, we have over 60 active Erasmus agreements with foreign universities across Europe, and as I mentioned recently, in the United States. Apart from the interpreting and translation program, we've recently established a foreign language teaching certification program. This is a 30 ECTS, one semester additional. It's an additional program, and it involves students, or graduates, I should say, who are interested in teaching in the private sector foreign language. They can also take this one semester program. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we offer two streams, that of the translation stream and the interpreting stream. And I'm just briefly going to spend 1 or 2 minutes talking about the difference, because I'm sure that most young students are not familiar with the difference. So the key difference between interpreters and translators are the following. Interpreters usually translate spoken language, they do it orally, whereas translators translate the written word. But both require deep cultural and linguistic understanding, expert knowledge of subject matter, and the ability to communicate clearly. And of course, there are many similarities between interpreters and translators, and here I've outlined some of them. In any case, in both cases, they require very advanced professional qualifications if they want to be successful either as translators or interpreters. Translators use computer-aided tools, and that ties in with all the colleagues that we had from different departments, especially in computer science and electrical and computer engineering. So there are bridges that connect translators with sciences as well. And so translators also work for companies, organizations, institutions. They work in the public and private sector. Whereas interpreters also work in similar contexts. They provide a service that happens in the moment. Of course, it is delivered live, usually either in unison, which is simultaneous translation, or consecutive. They also work for companies, organizations. They work in the public or private sector. They work for during TV coverage, legal proceedings. They work in international settings like the UN, the European Union, etc. So that basically concludes my presentation. So thank you, Blagodaram. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, yes. And Efcharisto in Greek. Thank you very much. And here is my contact information. And below you can see the site where you can find the our department information. The information is there in detail in Greek and in English. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Karas. We've been honored, and with language knowledge also. Now, last but certainly not least, we have a small surprise. Professor Detsi Zoi from the School of English, Department of American Literature and Culture, the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. During our initial conversation, Professor Detsi mentioned that she has some special tie to our beautiful city. Professor Detsi, you have the honor to close our event.
I would like to thank you for the invitation, which has given me the opportunity to participate in this event and contribute to the broader dissemination of knowledge regarding studies in Greece. You're right, I do have some familial and emotional ties with your city on my grandmother's side, which for me was a very fortunate coincidence. I would like to share my screen with you. And I would like to present, I hope you can see me changing the slides, right?
Yeah, for now it's the first slide. It's okay.
All right, all right. I'm going to share again. Okay. All right, the School of English consists of 4 departments: the Theoretical and Applied Linguistics, the English Literature and Culture, the American Literature and Culture, and the Translation and Intercultural Studies department. The department, I'm going to give you some very brief summarized points on what each department offers. The Department of Theoretical and Applied Linguistics offers courses that cover 4 main areas of studies: the English language, teaching English as a foreign language, theoretical linguistics, and interdisciplinary linguistics, which involved psycholinguistics and computational linguistics. The Department of English Literature and Culture offers courses that explore the literary production of Britain and other Anglophone countries, for example, the Caribbean, Australia, and South Africa. And the courses aim at familiarizing students with diverse genres such as literature, theater, film, and digital culture. The Department of American Literature and Culture, to which I belong, offers courses that investigate the distinct multicultural identity of the United States. It explores concepts such as race, gender, ethnicity, and of course, it examines the literary works by white authors alongside African American, Native American, Hispanic American, and Asian American authors. So my department's goal is to provide this multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multicultural identity of the United States. The Department of Translation and Intercultural Studies offers courses on translation theory and methodology, general translation, interpreting, on special topics of the European Union, and audiovisual translation. Now, in order for our students to graduate, they need to successfully complete 8 semesters and accumulate 240 credit units in the ECTS system. Now, the 8 semesters and the credit units actually amount to a total of 40 courses. So for the students, in order to successfully graduate, they need to have completed and successfully been examined in 40 courses. Now, all the courses among the 4 departments are equally distributed. So there is an equal balance to the courses that the students need to sign up for and attend. However, all the courses are designed in such a way so as to promote interdisciplinarity. And I would like to stress this because even the courses that focus on literature, they do so within an examination within a context, a political, social, cultural context, okay? All the courses aim at enhancing critical thinking. That is why we strive hard to foster our students' reading, writing, and analytical skills. Another basic aim of the program is to encourage research following academic ethics. Our students learn about plagiarism, about the ethics in academic research. And of course, we aim to familiarize students with the use of new technologies in conducting research and learning in the learning process. I would like to add here that we have a supervised research course. And of course, the students can choose to write a diploma thesis in the 4th year of their studies. Our program also offers an obligatory teaching practice for 2 months, which means that all the students in the 4th year of their study, they are allocated to high schools, primary and secondary schools in Thessaloniki, and for 2 months they perform a kind of internship in these schools. Another thing that the program offers is a certificate for pedagogical and teaching competence. In order to be eligible for this certificate, the students have to be successfully examined in 8 teaching-related courses. So in a way, there is a prerequisite for the certificate. Now, the School of English participates in the European Student Exchange Program, the Erasmus+, and we have signed an exchange agreement with 58 universities. You can visit the website and you can be informed on all the arrangements and all the agreements that we have made with various universities. Now, regarding the facilities that the school offers to students, first of all, our library is a very well-equipped library. It holds 30,000 volumes.
I'm sorry, Professor Deci. I would like to ask everyone to close your microphones, please. I'm sorry, Professor Deci.
It's all right, thank you. Yeah.
Someone.
So I wanted to say that it has 38,000 volumes, which actually cover all the subject areas of the 4 departments of the School of English: English and American Literature, English Language, Linguistics, Theater, Film, Translation Studies. And of course, the library also provides access to bibliographical databases and to a large number of academic journals, as well as electronic books. We also have the Resource Center, which is very helpful to those students who do their compulsory teaching practice, because the Resource Center holds a rich collection of textbooks and audiovisual materials related to the teaching of English as a foreign language. Dictionaries, literature books for English language learners, books on teaching training and teacher education. Another facility that serves research purposes is the Academic Studies Resource Portal, which provides links to all academic departments in Greece, which offer courses on American studies, information about undergraduate and graduate courses in American culture, literature, and politics, list of MA thesis and PhD dissertations in progress or completed in American studies nationwide, news about conferences and events, online links to resources, libraries, and research centers with emphasis on American studies in Europe and the US. The school also has 5 laboratories: the Language Development Laboratory, the Phonetics Laboratory, the Laboratory of Narrative Research, the Foreign Language Teaching Laboratory, Translation, Interpreting, Communication Laboratory. I would like to say here that all 5 laboratories promote research, promote participation by undergraduate students who gain the opportunity to delve deeper into conducting research and writing research papers. It's important for our undergraduate students to participate in research projects, and the laboratories give them this opportunity. Other research activities involved the organization of conferences, international conferences, symposia, seminars, webinars, and as from 2015, we've been organizing on an annual basis, summer schools. Again, you can find all this information on the website. Now, although the vast majority of our graduates are absorbed in education and in teaching, however, there are other career options as well. For example, many of our graduates become employed in translation agencies, in publishing houses, in banks and businesses, in the translation departments, in cultural institutions such as museums and theaters, in the field of tourism, in journalism and the media, and of course in advertising. Also, the school offers MA programs in these 5, let's say, strands, in these 5 pathways: linguistics, English and American studies, foreign language learning and teaching, language, literature, and digital media in education, and conference interpreting and translation. I would like to add that the last one is in collaboration with the departments of Italian literature, German literature, French literature of the Aristotle University. And finally, there is also a PhD program that our, after the acquisition of an MA degree, many students can continue their academic studies on a PhD program. I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and I'm at your disposal if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Professor Deci. So we already have one question for Professor Karas. What type of internship does one student at your department?
I'm not sure if I heard correctly. What type of internship
does one student at your department? Is there any opportunity for internship? Probably.
Yes, there are opportunities. We have short-term internships that one can do over a summer period, for example, of 2 months, either through our department or through the Erasmus program. So yes, and we have lots of students who do it at translation offices or interpreting offices or publishing houses. Yes, there are several opportunities.
Okay, wonderful. And the same question goes to Professor Deci. It's been written, so please, if you have some opportunities.
Okay, we have an institutionalized, an established, let's say, compulsory practice, teaching practice, which means all our students go to schools for 2 months and they do their internships there. So actually this is established, this in a way is a more official teaching practice. However, the school also, through a number of courses, offers internships in translation and interpreting. However, I have to say that this is only part of courses, which means that it is not compulsory.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the greetings, Mrs. Karayanova. And we have only now at this point, we've reached the end of this year's kind of affair of Greek higher education. If there are any final questions or remarks to any of the participants, there is one for Mr. Giannopoulos, if he is still with us.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much, Director Giannopoulos. So there is only one question for you, and I think it's quite important. What about the nostrification of high schools? So in order to enter someone in Greece from a general high school, it's quite easy. But what about the high schools that are technical, for example, or medical high schools that we have in our country? Or economic high schools, law high schools? We have all these kinds of high schools that are separate, that are not just departments of one high school. So if you know, or maybe it would be a good suggestion for a brainstorm activity at some point.
That's why I sent you our email for further questions.
Okay.
We are at your service, of course. It's a difficult question because have many parameters. In the next time, will the Ministry of Education, the Minister and the whole political minister will bring a new law for universities, a general law for many things. A little patience. After Easter, I think that the minister will send us perhaps a pre-law schedule. So we'll discuss all these things. I prefer, if you like, to send us in this email a whole questions, not about for today, but the other days.
Yes,
and with my colleagues in all the ministry, we'll try to answer with plenty of things. So it's easy for us the next time, the next 5 or 10 days to answer all these questions. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Director Giannopoulos, for being with us until the end of the event.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's been an honor to us. So, since there are no more additional raised hands, at least I don't see one. No, okay. Allow me to thank everyone for staying until the very end of this year's event. I hope to see you next year, and I wish everyone all the best. If someone wants to...
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you.
We have one raised hand now. It's Mrs. Nella.
Good health.
Kalimera. My name is Nella Nikolova, and I'm a student from Gibelia. I want to ask, is there any options to study with scholarship, especially for the School of Computer Science and Informatics?
If I can answer for our department,
please.
As far as I'm aware, there are some scholarships, but I'm not sure if you are eligible specifically for these kinds of scholarships. First of all, there's no tuition for participating, and if you come through the Erasmus program for maybe a semester or something, from what I'm aware, there is some kind of compensation, not a big compensation, but there is some kind of compensation for that. Otherwise, there are some scholarships that are active, but they have specific requirements. For example, they're from people from a specific city or from a specific region, or so. Probably you should look it up more with your school and your region to see if anything like that is available.
Nice, interesting information, Professor Vergados. Thank you, Mrs. Nikolova, for the final question. And thank you all once again. So the video will be live, will be on YouTube, and we'll keep contact. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Christian.